Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next sentence pattern video. Pleasure to meet you. How to make your sentence introductions shine. But first, as always, we're going to take a little trip down memory lane. So, what have we learned already? We've learned simple sentences. A couple different varieties of simple sentences, but regardless of what variety we use, a simple sentence expresses one idea. We've learned how to combine simple sentences into compound sentences. And what that does is takes these two ideas and brings them into one sentence. Just as two become one as in marriage. They're both their own same idea, but now they're together. And then last time we learned about conjunctive adverbs. And that, of course, is the pattern. It's got two simple sentences, so we're combining two ideas, and then this conjunctive adverb between the semicolon and the comma helps shine light on what the relationship is between those two simple sentences, what the connection is. So, looking at introductions. When you meet someone for the first time, you want to make a good first impression, and that is what an introduction to a sentence is. It's gonna lead the reader or lead the listener into the sentence. It's gonna kind of set them up for what's happening. And once you set them up, you want to give them a moment, the reader, to take that in. And then you're gonna get to the heart of the matter. So here, that's how our pattern works. Introduce the sentence, little pause, and then the complete thought. With that in mind, here is the pattern. Intro, comma, simple sentence. And that could be any variation of the simple sentence that we've learned. I'm going to move ahead, but you're going to have a moment to write that down again on this slide. So, to repeat, introduce the sentence, give a pause, give a complete thought. Each part of this pattern has the specific role. We have the intro, obviously introducing the sentence. We have a comma, doing what it does best, giving a brief pause. And then we have a complete thought. Maybe it has a compound subject, compound verb, whatever the case may be. But there is our sentence pattern. Intro, comma, simple sentence. So, what is this intro that I speak of? There's three different intros we're going to learn about right now. An intro could be a word. And we've already seen this, we've already learned this with a conjunctive adverb. Meanwhile, the doctor operated on the wrong patient. Another example, however, I don't like narwhals. And another example of a conjunctive adverb is, furthermore, the rabid squirrel was hit by the speeding car. Where's my nuts? Oh no! All of these conjunctive adverbs we've seen, we know this. You have your conjunctive adverb, you have your comma, and you have your simple sentence. But the intro word doesn't have to be a conjunctive adverb. It can be an adjective or just a plain old adverb as well. Happily, I won the job by giving an exceptional interview. There's an adverb. Disappointed, an adjective. I left the date without a good night kiss. Also, in addition to having a word, whether that be an adjective, adverb, conjunctive adverb, you can have a group of words as your intro. For instance, barking incessantly, Rover convinced us that standing on his tail was not a good idea. I thought it was more humane than a leash. Apparently I was mistaken. After eating an entire pizza pie, I felt like king of the world. And I felt fat. A young and beautiful girl, Sally shed a single tear upon hearing she was the next Miss America. And one more example, to achieve victory, Roger spent long hours training and studying. Something to notice about groups of words. They are not simple sentences. They are missing something. Barking incessantly. That can't stand on its own. Who is barking incessantly? We know, based on this simple sentence, that Roger is, but this barking incessantly is unable to stand on its own. Same with after eating a pizza pie. Same with a young and beautiful girl. Same with achieve victory. Either a subject or a verb is missing. So that's something to bear in mind if you're going to use a group of words as an intro. And then lastly, you can use this pattern to combine simple sentences. So instead of making a compound sentence, we're going to make a complex sentence. An example of that: they wanted a pony. The students held a fundraiser and sold rainbow stickers. Clearly, these two independent clauses, these two sentences, have two separate ideas, but they're related. So how could we possibly combine them? Because they wanted a pony, the students held a fundraiser and sold rainbow stickers. Now with this introduction pattern, we see more clearly the relationship between those two ideas. Let's look at another example. The rain stopped. A double rainbow formed all the way across the sky. Or, after the rain stopped. A double rainbow formed all the way across the sky. So again, we're combining these two ideas, which are related, into one, in this instance, complex sentence. A note about combining simple sentences in this way: what you need to do, to use the grammatical terms, is add a subordinating conjunction at the beginning to create a dependent clause. Let me show you what that means, what I mean by that. So, after the rain stopped, a double rainbow formed all the way across the sky. That's our example sentence. After, as is all these others, is an example of a subordinating conjunction, and that makes this a dependent clause. A dependent clause is something that cannot stand on its own as a sentence. Independent clause, such as this, is a simple sentence in our case. It can stand on its own. It doesn't need anything else. But a dependent clause depends on other words to create a full and complete sentences. So by adding the subordinating conjunction or one of these other subordinating conjunctions, you create a dependent clause, and you can combine simple sentences in that way. So, let's do a quick little review. In sum, when you introduce, you want to make sure your beginning is strong, and you need to take a moment before getting to the heart of the matter. Think of it as a job interview. If you go into the job interview and you walk in there and say, "Hi, Mr. Smith, I want your job," that's not going to get you a job. You need to say, "Hi, Mr. Smith. My name is Sam. I am here to have a job." Oh, that was terrible. I apologize, but I'm at the end of this, so I'm not going to go back to the beginning and start over. Just pretend I did a better job role-playing a good job interview. But you get the idea. You have to give the interview a chance to think about how awesome you are, and then you land into the meat and potatoes. Oh boy, I'm sorry I'm messing up this last slide. Again, not doing it. Deal with it. Everything will be fine. So, here is your practice. Write a paragraph answering the following questions. And you have to use this introduction pattern 6 times. Twice with words, twice with groups of words, and twice combining 2 simple sentences. If you could have any superpower, which would you have? You could write this as like a straight up essay. You could write this as if you had the superpower, a creative short story. However you want to approach this, write a paragraph. Use this pattern, make sure you label it, and feel free to use any other patterns we've learned as well. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.